nkɔbɔ bisa ne sɛ na sika no wɔ he we ɛyɛ nkɔbɔ ba twe ɛne nsɛm yɛ fa kokoo ɛna yɛbɛhwehwɛ sansɛm no na nyime yɛatena se ɛsɛm de ba de di mu akota bi ne sɛ Ghana mampani ɛne Zambia mampani Hichilema atena se akasa fa nyɔnkɔfa da amammienu ntam ho no mo kyerɛ sɛ ɔmo hyɛ mu kina sɛ ne bɛyɛ bia ɛbɛkɔ yie.
Ghana mampani e de abetu dwa se wobetena abanwa no so no na Ghana mamuo ne esikasɛm agensɛmu anesa
sanso ena Ghana mampani eye anamuntu a wotu e de akyerɛ ɔman eye Zambia mu no nkɔmɔtwetwe ne bi ɔkyerɛ sɛ Ghana fo hɔ no motwetwe nkɔmɔ kyerɛ sɛ de baabi a school nkwala no ahyase no nkoyie papa na fi ɔne na ban e bɛhwɛ sɛ nkonwa makomako bimienu mankola sɛ ne bɛyɛ a ɔmo asetena mu ɛna ɔmo adesua ebetumi akɔyie.
Dom kuma e de ato aban anim sɛ sika bi a wo se wogya mu e de makoko akuafo no wonhwɛ na wongya mu emo mo.
Woni nsɛm bi aka no yɛatena sɛ na nyimre sɛ nyimre no ndum kaseɛ bɔ kanfo sa afei no wadufia district of radio nkɔnya bi no ɛbɔ apa ɛsan sɛ Ghana koko na dwodi dia de ɔha bɛba na mo no this way dia ɔha bi ama nsu papa special mineral water binom na ɛbɛkɔyie ɛde ama yɛatena sɛ bedi ɛde anim adomene
maame ya obaku amponsa.
Iran semana ne dan ani edi akyerɛ ɔmampani Excellency John Dramani Mahama wotu kwan ɛkɔ ɔman Zambia mu no ne ɔmampani Hichilema ɛna ɛkɔ akɔhyia ɛne dwumadi ahodo ɛkɔ akɔdi ɛwɔ ɔman mu na ne deɛ ɔmo ɛyɛ ne sɛ ɔne ɛyɛ Zambia mampani ɛtena sɛ ɛhwɛ anyɔnkofa a ɛda Ghana ɛne Zambia ntam ne kwan a ɔmbɛfa so ayere saa anyɔnkofa no emu.
We have similar issues with agricultural production and marketing of products across countries. We're happy that the AU moved on the issue of continental free trade, but we cannot develop continental free trade in a vacuum unless we develop those bilateral relations that will identify what products we can exchange and create the conditions for us to make those exchanges. And so we think that even though we have the Permanent Joint Commission, we must enhance the relationship to a new level. And it will allow us to share best practices, to be able to have a consistent dialogue with each other, and to have direct, experiences in all sectors. And so we have to go beyond political dialogue and go into economic consolidation and bilateral economic relations between our two countries. We believe that a kind of enhanced economic partnership agreement, or whatever you technocrats will eventually call it, which is higher than just the political dialogue and the permanent joint commissions, will be the way to go so that we share lived experiences in real time.
But we also really looked at issues of specific experiences that matter to us, both of us. For Ghana, the gold sector experience is important for us to avoid reinventing the wheel, Minister of Mines. By the way, my brother Excellency, I sent that Minister of Mines early on into our government to Ghana to learn a few things, but time has come to now walk through properly the issues that you are confronting in Ghana, large-scale mining, but also small-scale artisanal mines. So I won't waste too much time, but we will cover those issues in more detail. But more important, on how we can avoid, as I said, reinventing the wheel, and really just get on with the work that Ghana has already invested in, which is relevant to us as well. And obviously other sectors, how to deal with multilaterals as we work with them in Ghana, Zambia. It was important to us. On the continent of Africa, my brother and I are part of a team of African presidents that are working on the reform of the African Union, plus the reform of the global financial architecture, and mainly to deal with the cost of capital, how Africa is treated in those areas, because we're having to pay a higher cost of capital than any other continent, even in the same business, similar business, same sector. And you can't accuse us of being inefficient when one element, which is crucial, is capital, is brought to the continent, to our countries, at a much, much higher cost, injecting a higher cost of doing business in our countries. So I was very delighted that the two of us are aligned in those areas. And on a global level, I think there are things that we understand that the changes in the geopolitical situation does affect Africa, does affect our countries, and we need to remain strong.
Was Sanshia Mudia say and a Ghana man penny editu drase, or better na one son no quasem na Ghana mine, yin sika sem any a mompo, a chia ayabasa, no mum, or better na sono, a good edanisu say, or beboa amagana sika sem, etimia sign edgina pintin, or sign etchemu say, or better na akunyana so sell man penny no, nen yes and kunim dear no quani here no mum, now per se Ghana etimi sign fan into my pa Ifra.
2024 was a defining moment for our country, because it was our last opportunity to prove to the world and to ourselves and to our nation that democracy can work. Because increasingly, all the opinion polls and survey were showing that our citizens were getting tired of our democratic experiments. They believed it wasn't working, corruption was vast, opportunities were closing for young people, and if you notice in West Africa, democracy had started backsliding, and so there were coups in different countries, and indeed our own young people were beginning to admire, a military dictatorship. And so I said that this election was a make or break, and whoever won it had to take drastic action to ensure that we restore faith in our democracy. And so what I'm doing is not for myself, it's for our country, that we don't also fall into the same trap where we return to unconstitutional governance. I'm doing it for all of us, I'm doing it for the political elites, and so there are some severe decisions that one has to take, not because I enjoy taking them, but to reignite the trust of our people in our democracy.
Yeraso awo mampeni akwantori akopiem ewo Zambia na nkomo ba kwa na otwetwekire se omanhwe yehumesua aban atwamu no na wahye oman ne boss ode free SHS ebeba school famekwane ntino na SHS no hoka obone kesere mu na ase ho no ade na ekofom konwa nkola betena so asua ade ne ade suku adane ade no na nyoma nkono se wabai oba betwa nani nkonwa opepim mienu 2 million na wabehwe aboa nkola no manya akonwa atena so na madisua etumi akoyi ede amawo.
I have my little brother Haruna Idrisu here, who's been anchoring the education space, and he's handled, first he did the National Education Review exercise, which gave us what the challenges in the education sector were, and he has been responsible for implementing those solutions. And one major headache was the free SHS. We did not have dedicated funding for the free SHS. So most of the time, a term will end, a semester will end, and the money for the schools has not been released. And so the quality of the food was poor and affected teaching and learning in the schools. Happily, working with the Minister of Finance, they fixed that. We have dedicated funding for the free SHS. We uncapped the GET fund, and the portion of it that was uncapped yields about 3.something billion, 4 billion. And so we dedicated all that to free SHS. So the children are getting better food. I don't hear many complaints about quality of food again. We're expanding infrastructure in the schools so that we can take in more children. We're improving. We have 3 categories of SHS. We have category A, category B, and category C. Everybody wants his child to go to a category A school. If not, then a category B. And normally nobody wants the category C. And so we are going to start investing from this year to improve the category C schools to category B, and improve the category B schools to category A, so that children can get a fair opportunity to be able to learn. And so that is also improving things. The basic school level has been neglected. The previous government focused just on SHS because it was their flagship program, free SHS. So you go to many schools and they had no textbooks, no school furniture. Children were sitting on the floor and learning. This year, we're going to provide 2 million pieces of school furniture. One by 2028. One by 2028, that no Ghanaian pupil will sit on the floor or lie on his stomach to write or to study in school.
Dom kuma a womra shebedwefie edensem atudra afaye rai Isaac ya opokuso atremu se ye hye eye kokwa akuafo e wo man Ghana mu ha e kame ayese aban ene omundi ne ye esan se wo de omuka be 10 billion Ghana cedis a efiti ene wo munye se wo de sika no eba enti sa mre de sika bi e wosa aban ejamu edema eye akuafo no won hye na won fa ma omo no masetena mu ayeden
Nia mighty minority caucus ye kan say aban entua eka wode koko akuafo enyina koko akuafo e de omo koko akoma licensed buying companies no e koko board na adelegate omo se omo nto koko emma koko board enti omo nto emma omo ho enti omo to koko no na omo de take over centers no na koko board koko omo to bia na koko board a reimburse omo koko a omo de abanyina no koko board ntwe omo ka disesi a ye ka say omo de license buying companies na omo to koko e free akuafo ho no omo de omo ka ya etwemu 10 billion Ghana cedis kura enti say license buying companies ne say omo ntumi ento koko biem efi say emo a ekwa didie ne nyina no ba kokora ensan ba fie enti omo ntumi nka ebiemu ensan engum enne akuafo ma atifie omo ntumi mfo omo enko school omo didie mu kra no ayeden ayeba beto aba no yewura ato force ne yewura erikopoku omo ka se omo be ma akuafo 6000 anye ye kra no omo ba ye 6000 no ayensa nka omo tumu ediko efri 3100 ediko 3225 and omo sande 400 ka ho ene koye 3625 akuafo dia memenfe agye no saa ne kwani akoton ne koko efri November December January na atwamu na ne yema werehwo eyemeya ene nsem a yewura chief executive ka kire amansan osi ne enti a akuafo omontimi ntua akuafo ka ne edikan ene se nanado danko akufo ado ene na ban ekwaje syndicated loan na syndicated loan no omontimi antua nje say aban foforo ekọ say omokope loan no a yemfa ma wo eno na mesrem say nsentrofo monko ne ho na momusa ne say sika sen ene nanado danko akufo ado ekwaje ye na musen ene otuaye na musen ene wontumi ntuaye na a whole chief executive of Ghana Cocoa Board utwa entro kese say Cocoa Board ekwaje bosia yantimi antua eno ntina wontumi ntua akuafo ka enya no kre afe wasan ka say Cocoa Board eye contract rollover no say uye projection say afie meti cocoa 800,000 metric tons entimude emubi ebesia wowa na magebosia e de ato cocoa no ebia na bibiasi last 2024 no beka ya na ye friend Elino no weda no e baaye no na nye enti projection no Cocoa Board ye no omo anya wanya ne saa no a na contract na ne wantumi an supply no no roll over a standard industry practice esi wo baabia
St. Michael ya sabia ewo enkramantam ha na mjumadi omudi somoma sapapa etumi akoso nenene omudi bia beka dialysis sabe ya sabo ho ensem ene yeni ho nsem no ya ba beka mjumadi empenifo da despite media ejumekuya no ekobi doctor enesufuri sapon onene nua doctor ose kwame despite de wononyam ekota ejumadi echi eboa sene be ya hwe ho ensem no ebetumi akoyie
sa facilities yi eba beboa se de be ya sebio wo mo a omosa abo ho atochema anase omo kidney yade no yebetimi ahwe wo mo se bia nipa no okwa akoye ne dialysis ena afin so se owo eniyade okoho no mo a ombehwew asanso aso ano edi ama wo empanyufo a eda ya sabia na no edi atodwa se omo mpesa abribia se bi obi ba na owo kidney yade a na ewo so omo refer no ne yade omo sini nyina ne ha adwen enunti enomako akofa mfidie ene apomudie adwumayefo munim de wo ho aba se omoma mehwe saade no ema wo mo dwumadie na se Dr. Ernest Oforisapo ene yebo ni din se tetenani a ayasabe bodano odensem sei etudwa.
Chronic kidney disease continues to be a serious public health concern, and for many patients dialysis is a matter of life and death. The availability of these dialysis machines will significantly improve access to timely and life-saving treatment, reduce the burden on patients and their families, and enhance the hospital's capacity to serve the wider community. This achievement has been made possible through vision, dedication, and collaboration. I therefore wish to commend the board and management for their foresight and commitment. As chairperson and a member of the board, I reaffirm the board's commitment to strong governance, continuous investment, and accountability to ensure that these units remain sustainable and with best clinical practices. May these dialysis machines and the eye unit bring healing hope and renewed confidence to all who walk through the doors of St. Michael's Specialist Hospital.
Enwechi and our Chief Executive Officer Emma Okankwe North Municipal, Onumunyafo Christian Tete Baja, and so the two also say, renal care units, eye care units now, Modia Babeka Hono, Ebebwa pa, ama womo motete, and Potemu Honomono, Enya Ayashema pa, it was St. Michael's Specialist Hospital.
The Municipal Directorate plays a strategic role in shaping the health landscape of Okankwe North. Beyond its administrative mandates, the Directorate is responsible for policy decision, resource mobilization. The Municipal Assembly remains committed to align with the municipal health initiatives with national health policy and strategies.
This milestone is a clear demonstration of our shared commitment to strengthening the healthcare system and also expanding access to life-saving renal and eye services in this country. This is more than commissioning of a facility or the facilities. It is a powerful testament of our collective resolve, where innovative public-private partnership propels us towards universal health coverage and equitable quality health care for every Ghanaian, regardless of geography and economic status.
Na Chief Operations Officer Emma St. Michael's Specialist Hospital, Mrs. Christiana Aglago, Echemu says St. Michael's Specialist Hospital kopie ho no a omo customer service ne de eye stronko kra omo wotemane abadaye ne abotrema nipa ehwe nipa nso kama.
St. Michael's ye ne bebre na eye different wa ha sei. E na because hospital bia ehwe malaria, obia e treat typhoid. But sometimes baby I will be ra and this point before se bejewo and the customer care be ma wona ma ho kra toss here do na wo no mo into St. Michael's there ye ne say ye personalized care and na your customer care services so top notch. Dialysis unit dem say ye nkomo bebre about 2 years ago na nkrofo se bi omo hwe omo kwan because machines no break it down okolebu nti ho na nkomo no sha se ba say then nso betumi dia ye na hwe nkrofo amowo kidney problems. And until you say 12 chairs, ye a best service patients be breed.
Nekrakremu ena Madam Abigail Ashley enso ekasafa eye dialysis unit at St. Michael's Specialist Hospital Ediabano.
I'm happy say St. Michael's for Assetia Dialysis Center because in pain be patients complain and the machines na stay and the machines in ho and the more yenya machines no me just said the more ahihie mu efa a kidney anasa aboyare no omo so enya omo fa ahode.
President oda licensed cocoa buyers association ano yeyera Samuel Enim Ado ene wode adesre akọ amagana ban se wosre omada wo cocoa bu a wode to omanim se wo munye bibi mfa ho no wose wosre wo munye bibi mfa ho esan se enam se cocoa bu abaso ntino ama eye omoto no abafom kakra wo muntimi mpo enkra mfi oman mu enko amaya foforo so enti aban enhwe enye bibi mfa ho.
Na wie tunsa efre nsantwerefo so omumra na ohawa ewo yen koko mu no ye ne omo nwenwen ho na yen hwe kwan ebetimi etu anamon abɔ ho ban na yanse no de dikan ye hu se sesei ye to koko no se ko to koko no e de ba se ye betua yen kanokra e ho ayeden ama mumu pia te se akuafo bi ese omu koko omu de ba yen twa omuka na sema e wo ho ne se yen koko no ne bo ayeden koko no ba koko board aseye pe na se wo ka se wo koton koko na waboka $1,000 if you say koko no se wo kwa koton wa manone a ne bo e $4,000 nti asem ne se anye bia yen koto koko no empie kuafo ho na yen tiso ne yen ko forma yen fan komo mo pe chocolate di no ana yen yeden no ne pese aban etiminya kokuduro na ye ne cocoa board yetimi etu anamon ye bo ho ban efise won a na omoto cocoa ewo Ghana ha ne se yen cocoa no boarding ena yetin so anko yeye efise cocoa no ohwa otiminya cocoa ne bi eto baabi a ohwa cocoa no okoto no se ohwa ahoden ane se ne cocoa no na ho keka che ye ane ye ndie no akoye pe nti okope enya ade a obabio nti ho no ne ye ka se ewo se sa asemi a yakbo yisu ise yen koko bua ye den omo to koko wo Ghana omo fi Ghana no kwan ben na ye nyina ebe transe na yetimi atintim koko hu djumadie aban abaso so omie nani efise ya te se aban hihye emre bi a friend new ana act on new pricing model of cocoa se otimi hihye sa amra ne dia ye nyina ebetimi anya nyinaso na ye hu kwan ebetimi ahihye yen cocoa bo no na yatimi aton na ma yen cocoa djumadie na sipi esita
abusuafo ye home kase bone so ye ba ye de nkomo twetwe ebesom mo